Don't forget to donate to the hashtag Daytona Dream 2019 GoFundMe for your chance in January to win one of these 3 Kevin Harvick diecast. Now enjoy the video. It's time to go racing here at the Texas World Super Speedway. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here as we get ready for 30 laps of racing in the 12th race of the season for Division 1 of the Skittles Super Speedway Series. Now, we were originally supposed to go to Bermuda, but due to issues of drivers merging off the track and wrecking as they did so, we are here at Texas World, and based off of what we saw in qualifying, I think we're in for a pretty good race. I mean, last week we were supposed to go to Proving Grounds, had to make a last-minute change to Tottering, and reap the rewards of 2 really exciting races. I'm expecting the same thing to take place here at Texas World. Another thing that we had take place here this weekend was Texas World played host to our 23rd and 24th different pole sitters of the season. 23rd being Tristan Fowlkes, who snatched away the pole position from former pole sitters Preston Plourd and Eli Bright. So Tristan Fowlkes, for the first time, going to be leading the field to green this season. Preston Plourd will be starting on the outside of the front row. Another thing that we got to talk about is this is race number 12. After today's race, only 3 more races remain until we determine the 8 drivers here from Division 1 that will battle in the season's chase for the championship. We've had 11 races. We have had 9 different race winners. Of course, 2 two-time winners in Ryan Butcher and Brady Burkhart. But right now, out of those 9 different race winners, only, I believe, 7 of them, yes, 7 of them are inside the top 30 in the points. So right now, only 7 former winners are in the playoff grid. Right now, that 8th slot currently in possession of the driver highest in points without a win, and that would be second in the standings, Ashlin Boyd. Who are the 2 drivers that currently find themselves on the outside looking in? They would be Derek Hamill and Seth Cole. Derek Hamill 32nd in points, but he's only 3 points out of 30th, and Seth Cole is 34th in points, but he's only 7 points back. Let's go down trackside and get the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
So if Seth Cole and Derek Hamill can work their way back into the top 30 in the points, and if we have another different winner go to victory lane that's inside the top 30 in the points, no doubt about it, we are going to have a very congested field heading into next week in terms of battling for a spot in this season's chase for the championship. The 32 of Derek Hamill looked rather slow there on the start. I don't know if he has an issue or not. Let's drop back towards the back and look again just to see if he is up to speed or not. Looks like he just had a little issue coming off of pit road, but looks like he's going to be okay. So he's starting inside the top 15. So let's give you what your overall point standings look like coming into this race, and then we'll give you your playoff standings in just a moment. So right now in the battle for the overall points lead for the regular season championship, Trent Dunham leads it. He's starting near the rear of the field today. 9 points back is Ashlin Boyd in second. Ryan Butcher, 2-time winner, is third. Brady Burkhart, 2-time winner, fourth. JT Bryant up to fifth. Last week's winner from Tottering, Sebastian Cucalon, now finds himself sixth. Cody Smart is currently seventh. Laurent Lemount in eighth. Matt Haas has now jumped into the top 10 in ninth. And Patrick Zych, who I'm pronouncing his name correctly for the first time this season, he currently sits in 10th. Your playoff grid right now would be 2-time winners Butcher and Burkhart. Then you would have Trent Dunham, Sebastian Cucalon, Vance Caldwell, Jessica Shelton, Jose Millz. Those would be your 7 drivers in via wins. Ashlin Boyd right now, the 8th playoff spot belongs to him. Highest currently in the point standings without a victory, but a lot of that could change after the outcome of today's race. 30 laps at Texas World. Tristan Fowlkes Ford, Preston Plourd Chevy will bring us down here. And we're green flag racing at Texas World. Let's roll. Here we go. First time we're going to see 3 wide this weekend. Brady Burkhart with Zack Winkle, and they are going to fan 3 wide, about 3 rows deep from second on back. Get Burkhart going to try and take the lead down here into turn 3. Tristan Fowlkes might have to try and throw a block. Ooh, can't do it. And that inside line had to check up as a result. Look at the outside line. Woo, Carter Friesen almost into the left rear quarter panel of Jay Jefferson as they are almost 4 wide. Are they 4 wide coming to the line? Oh, please, no. Ooh, this is dangerous. Ciculli way down there. Oh, they are 4 wide. Oh, my goodness. Shelton in the middle. Butcher in the middle. Shane Lake down low. Are they going to make it out of turn 2 without wrecking? Ooh, contact there between Shelton and Lake. They're not given a whole heck of a lot of room, but they might make it work. Somehow they do. Shane Lake had to back out of it, and he was way down on the apron. Everyone's going to get around him, it looks like, but he's going to lose a ton of positions as a result. They're 4 wide in the middle of the pack again here. That was Gardner, Miles, Lee, and Cole. They settle it out, and you can see the field got spread out as everyone was trying to check up for Shane Lake. Shane Lake trying to find a safe place to get out of dodge as he was almost 4 wide going into turn 3. He was able to, but it in turn slowed up the momentum of the second half of the field. Up front, top 5 single file. Fowlkes, then Plourd, then Burkhart, then Winkle, and then Jay Jefferson. Battle is right now on for 6th. That's between Bright, Mitchell, and Butcher. Looks like Bright will hold the spot for the moment. Mitchell will slot in behind him. It'll be 7th, and then Butcher back in 8th. Now he's under fire from Ciculli. It looks like that outside line's getting some good momentum here, as Ciculli's going to go around the long way, and he will take the spot away from Ryan Butcher. Not very often we see the high line be the preferred line at a track, but that seems to be the case here. We just had a change for second place. Brady Burkhart just made his way around Preston Plourd. Look at Jay Jefferson trying to get the outside line going. Trying to pass Eli Bright. That would be for 5th. And will succeed off of turn 2. Well, that's cool. We don't normally go to tracks where the outside line's the preferred line, and we're seeing drivers make that outside line work all by themselves. That could be very important to keep in mind in the closing stages of this race. Look at Ciculli back there trying to make more passes on the outside line. Not going to be successful this time. Carter Friesen now going to crack the top 10. He's now battling Gardner for 10th place. Carter Friesen probably been one of the strongest cars this week, well, not this week, but in the past couple of weeks, as he was outside the top 30 in points a few weeks ago. He now finds himself 20th in the standings, jumped up 6 spots after last week's race at Toddring, and had a pretty good qualifying result here as well this week, as up front, did have some battling for second place. It's now settled out. Burkhart still holds the spot. Preston Plourd now in 3rd, but he's under fire. Jay Jefferson trying to take the spot. See right there, it almost looks like inside line has to check up just a tiny little bit in the center of the corner, and that's where the outside line kicks in and gets the good corner exit to be able to swing around and take the position. Preston now closing onto the back bumper of Brady Burkhart. Brady Burkhart, 2-time winner, would love to be a 3-time winner, already locked into the playoffs with his multiple wins this season, but would love to be able to take the #1 seed. Right now, he shares it with Ryan Butcher, as both drivers have been to victory lane twice this season. And Preston tried to get the inside line going, no dice. Driver that has been getting the inside line going, I should say, is Carter Friesen. He's now worked his way up to 7th. He was back in 10th and has worked his way up that inside line. Jonny Gardner right there with him. J.J. Roberts trying to do the same. And there's Benjamin Miles in 25. Now 2 drivers that came into this race outside the top 30 in points that need to get themselves back in there for their wins to count towards playoff spots. One of them you're looking at right there. The 33 of Seth Cole, who won at Pig Street. 34th in points coming into this race. 7 points out of the top 30th position in the standings. Right now he's in 14th. The other driver, not too far back, 17th place. That's where you find Derek Hamill. So both drivers up inside the top 20, trying to make their way back into the top 30 in points. Up front, though, we got another battle going on here. That's Jay Jefferson, 3 wide with Preston Plourd and Brady Burkhart, and he's got Zack Winkle offering some help. Can he clear them both off the corner? Brady Burkhart running way wide, I think was trying to get the runoff of 2. Unsuccessful, and Jay Jefferson's now moved up to 2nd place. It's a driver who had a real tough race last week at Toddring, dropped 11 spots in the standings, the biggest loser in points last week. Fell from 22nd to 33rd coming into this race, and now trying to get some redemption and bounce back is Jay Jefferson, and he is reeling in Tristan Fowlkes for the top position. Biggest gainer last week was Jonathan Zoerlein. He jumped out of the top 30 in points, was 37th and moved to 27th coming into this race. Last time by, Jay Jefferson was 0.2 faster than Tristan Fowlkes, but then again, he was in the draft. See if he's able to make a move here, if Zack Winkle will go with him again. Winkle helped him make the pass for second. Jefferson to the inside of Tristan Fowlkes. Will he have to check up in this corner is the question, though. Stays alongside of him. These two will take this drag race to the back stretch. And, Winkle stayed up there. That might have given just a little bit of draft to the 91 to hold off for the spot, and he will indeed move back down in front of Jefferson and keep the top position for the moment. This track is 2 miles in length, 30 laps of racing. We have just now completed our 12th lap, so I don't know if green flag pit stops will come into play in this one or not. Now we've got a battle on for second. Zack Winkle trying to get to the inside of Jay Jefferson. Meanwhile, Jonny Gardner has moved up to 4th, and he's closing in to make it a 3-man fight for the runner-up spot. Look at that. I think Winkle tried to make the block, couldn't do it. Gardner had too much momentum. So this is the battle for 3rd, as now Eli Bright and Carter Friesen. 5th and 6th try and close in. J.J. Roberts now in 7th. He's going to look 3 wide. 3 wide for 5th place. Benjamin Miles right there, waiting to see which line opens up, and the 2 drivers that we were talking about steadily moving their way up. Seth Cole, Derek Hamill, they're working together right now, and they are currently, I believe, 11th and 13th. Gardner going to make the pass for 3rd on Zack Winkle. Now sets his sights on Jay Jefferson. Eli Bright going to get to the inside of Winkle. I thought Winkle might be able to slot in line between the 7 and the 12. Not the case. Carter Friesen says, hey, I'm going to go for both of these spots. He's going to go to the bottom. No help, though. J.J. Roberts decides to go to the middle and now up to the outside line. That's going to leave Friesen in the sucker hole on the inside line. When do we ever say that at a super speedway? Now Miles switches lanes. He's going to try and take, I believe that would be the 7th position. Brady Burkhart right now riding in 9th. I don't think we've heard the last of that 00 just yet. Battle for the lead. Jefferson to the inside of Tristan Fowlkes. He's got Gardner down there to help him. But off this corner, will Gardner stay on the inside line or will he help the outside line? Jefferson trying to pinch Fowlkes the outside wall. I think he's going to get him here in 3. Gardner's down there with him. Jefferson clears off turn number 4, and we've got a new race leader halfway through today's event at Texas World. It's Jay Jefferson now showing the way. And now Gardner wants a turn at the front. But he's not going to get any drafting help. Fowlkes going to switch up to the outside line. He's going to try and take 2nd place back using the outside line. Jefferson going to have to try and throw some blocks here. And now he's got a little bit of a reprieve as Gardner will indeed clear for 2nd place on Tristan Fowlkes. So just like that, in the matter of 2 laps, Tristan Fowlkes goes from leading back to 3rd, and he may not be done free falling. Now J.J. Roberts trying to take 3rd place away from him. There's a bunch of hungry drivers on that inside line as well that would love to pick up some spots. Benjamin Miles now looking for 4th place is now J.J. Roberts, who really had a strong car in the draft, worked his way up into the top 10, then the top 5, and then to the race lead. Now let's see how his car is out in front. Does he have a strong enough machine to hold everybody else at bay? Jonny Gardner's been marching through the field as well. He's up there in 2nd with Roberts in 3rd. Camaro's 1, 2, 3, 4 at the line as Miles currently in 4th. Gardner looking for the lead. No help on the bottom. Roberts going to swing to the outside line, and he's going to try and take 2nd place going down to 3. I think he's got Gardner cleared and will succeed in getting the spot. Oh, I thought Gardner was going to get to the inside, but I think he lifted. I think he thought Roberts was going to cut off his nose and didn't want to wreck them both. So Gardner with a little bit of give right there. But as we get into the 10 lap to go mark, which we will hit next time by, there will be no give. It will be all take. I'm looking here in terms of former winners this season. You got to go all the way back to 9th place where you find Brady Burkhart. Jefferson, Roberts, Gardner, Millz, Fowlkes, Winkle, Friesen, Bright, they're all looking for their first wins of the season. Battle for the lead. Roberts has help from Gardner. He's going to take the spot off turn 4. Tries to slide up and clear, and he will do so. So now Roberts will go to the top position. J.J. Roberts, who comes into this race currently situated in the 18th position in points, no doubt would get himself into a playoff position if he were to win this race. Comes into this race ahead of Jose Millz, who came in the number 7 seed. Jonny Gardner there, he right now is 28th in points, so he would be in the top 30. If he were to win, he would probably move into a playoff spot. And did we have pit stops? I think we got pit stops. Wow, we're going to have pit stops. We do have cars on pit road. So Jay Jefferson just gave up. I think that was 3rd place to come to pit lane. Green flag pit stops are taking place at Texas World. It's going to come down to pit strategy. So now what about these guys up here? Roberts and Gardner and Millz. They're slowing. Roberts is anyway. He's coming to pit road. Gardner's coming to pit road. Millz is in. Here comes Hamill and Cole. Yepez. Anybody staying out? Yep, someone stayed out. Was that Ashlin Boyd? Looked like the 54. Someone's got some damage. Oh, that's Kyle Mathews. Oh, we got a wreck. Oh, Ryan Butcher got spun around. Ciculli, Shelton in it. And now Philip Goldberg ran into the back of Shane Lake. I saw Spurley Tube had some damage. Everything that took place on pit road, you guys will get to see courtesy of the NNSCRA split cam. We're going to focus here on the current race leader, and that is Kyle Mathews, the only Retro Racing Enterprises driver yet to go to victory lane this season. Charles Sanford won at Pepsi Super Speedway in Division 2. Jessica Shelton won here in Division 1 back at Dragonette. Mathews trying some strategy here, seeing if maybe coming down a less congested pit road might get him some good track position, maybe a chance at winning this race. James Qualls still sitting on pit road there in the 70. Roger Ray, you see, with some right side damage. So pit road proving to be just as challenging here today as the racetrack itself. Mathews down and away. We're going to have to see where he comes off pit road. That was J.J. Roberts he just passed. Roberts, who was up in the lead when the pit stops began. Butcher and Winkle sitting on pit road as well. Pit road has definitely played a factor. 12 seconds back is Jay Jefferson. He just swung around Kyle Mathews. He will go back to the race lead. And he's got a huge gap before he get back to 2nd place, which right now is under contest between Tristan Fowlkes and Carter Friesen. But if these two were to get single file, they might be able to run down Jay Jefferson. They were only 3 seconds back behind him. You've also got Seth Cole there and Derek Hamill. They will cycle to 4th and 5th. As Fowlkes will get around Carter Friesen. Now we're going to have to see as Jefferson hits the line if these two can start closing the gap up. 2 cars against 1. They're only going to have 6 laps to do it though. James Qualls still sits on pit road. We saw Winkle and J.J. Roberts. Ryan Butcher, 2-time winner, who came into this race 3rd in points, only 11 points out of the overall points lead. We're going to have to see what the gap is from Jefferson back to Fowlkes and Friesen, who undoubtedly are running better lap time since they have 2 drivers against the 1 driver of Jefferson. That time they cut it down by 3/10. Going to have to cut it down by a lot more than that though, as there's only 5 laps to go. Seth Cole right now rides in 4th, Derek Hamill 5th, so both these drivers making good cases for themselves to move back into the top 30 in points. Ashlin Boyd right now in 6th, Cody Smart 7th, 8th place is under contest, Diego Yepez and Kyle Mathews, and right now 10th place is completed by Laurent Lemount in the 36. 11th right now, Brady Burkhart. Patrick Zych is currently in 12th. 13th, Eli Bright. 14th, I believe, was Andrew Miller. 15th place, Austin LaPlante, and last week's winner, Sebastian Cucalon, right now is 16th. Zoerlein 17th, Mitchell 18th, 19th Rogers, and Jose Millz in 20th. That's under 3 seconds. Separate first from second, but next time by, it's 3 laps to go, so time is running out. And Jay Jefferson hoping that these next 3 laps go by very, very quickly. Gonna look and see where he finished Toddring last week that caused him to drop 11 spots in the point standings. It might have been dead last. No, it was 39th. And it dropped him 11 spots from 22nd to 33rd. Well, he is trying to bounce back from that here today, move himself back into the top 30 in the points with a victory. 2.5 seconds separate himself from Tristan Fowlkes. They've been cutting him down his lead steadily, but there's just not enough time. 2 laps to go as Roberts and Ray still sit on pit road. And that last time by, they cut it down by about 2.5 tenths. Still not nearly enough to close in. As a matter of fact, Seth Cole starting to close in, make this a 3-man battle for second in the final 2 laps. James Qualls leaving pit road, so he'll finish better than Roberts and Ray and a couple of others that had to stay on the pit lane. But this time by, Jay Jefferson will see the white flag. 1 more lap to go for the 28. That time by, the gap back to second place, just about 2 seconds. They only gained 1/4 of a second on him, and right now the battle is going to be for second between Fowlkes, Friesen, and Cole. It's basically Jay Jefferson's race to lose. Through 3 and 4, no traffic ahead, no challenge behind. As long as the engine holds up, he will become our 10th different winner of the season. That will be the case. Forget about last week's hardships at Toddring. Jay Jefferson takes the checkered flag here today at Texas World. And did Jay Jefferson just lock himself up a spot in the playoffs? He's got a win that will undoubtedly move him back into the top 30 in the points. He was only 4 points out of 30th coming into this race. But with Seth Cole finishing 4th, Derek Hamill finishing 5th, they probably moved back into the top 30 in the points as well. It's going to be very tough contest heading into next week between Jefferson, Cole, and Hamill for that 8th playoff position. So all of a sudden, it's starting to get really good in that battle for those limited playoff spots in this season's chase for the championship. Green flag the entire race. Look at the average race speed, over 200 miles per hour. And Jay Jefferson picks up the win after losing 11 spots last week at Toddring. Talk about a comeback. Tristan Fowlkes started on the pole, almost went coast to coast. He'll have to settle for second place, though, but Tristan Fowlkes, who came into this race 15th in points, might jump up into the top 10 in the points. He might be making a last-ditch effort for the overall regular season championship battle. We'll have to wait and see. Carter Friesen, another solid outing for that team. He'd moved up to 20th in points in the last 3 races. He will probably jump up even higher, maybe into the top 15 after a podium finish. And we mentioned Seth Cole 34th in points, Derek Hamill 32nd in points. Both needed to get good finishes to move back into the top 30 in points. Top 5s for both of them. Cody Smart brings it home 6th. Kyle Mathews tried that pit strategy. He'll have to settle for 7th, though. Diego Yepez brings it home in 8th. Ashlin Boyd, well, came into this race in one of the playoff spots. Not going to be the case now. Still will be up there, probably second in points, as Ashlin brings it home in 9th. And Brady Burkhart will finish the day out in 10th. Rest of your top 15, Patrick Zych. Then you've got Laurent Lemount, Andrew Miller. Been putting some good finishes together as of late. Eli Bright brings it home in 14th with LaPlante in 15th. Last week's winner, Cucalon, 16th. Zoerlein, Mitchell, Millz, and Rogers will complete the top 20. Trent Dunham came into this race the points leader. He finishes in the 21st position, and he was 9 points ahead of Ashlin Boyd, who finishes in 9th. So I think that Ashlin Boyd is actually going to take the points lead over heading into next week. So a non-winner will be your points leader heading into next week. Still gone down here through the remainder of the finishing results. Pit road played as much of a factor into the outcome of this race as anything. As you see, we had 34 cars finishing on the lead lap. Qualls, Winkle, Roberts, who was the leader at the moment of green flag pit stops. Roger Ray and Ryan Butcher, they will all finish off the lead lap. And Philip Goldberg isn't even able to finish the race. Saw him run into the back of Shane Lake live, and too much damage for him to be able to continue. He finishes the race with a DNF. So that is going to do it here for today's race at Texas World. 9th different race winner of the season, and it is Jefferson. And now the battle for those 8 playoff positions is going to get hot and heavy in the final 3 races of the season. Next week, we are going to be going to Zen Joltis Super Speedway, a track that holds them 5 and 6 wide. Then we go to Riki Raceway, and we finish it out at Orlando Super Speedway. We still got to finish out this race weekend, though, so if you enjoyed today's race, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We have shown you full finish results, and these are your point standings heading into next week at Zen Joltis. Tomorrow night, we will see the Division 2 drivers here at Texas World, and boy, it's getting good here in Division 1. Will we start to see an even better championship battle as far as the chase spots go in tomorrow night's race? We're going to have to wait and see. Till then, I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching a production of the NCRA Offline Racing at its best.